big, big sound from the southeast of town. It's the sound of the junior giants. You feel the ground is shaking, the other teams are quaking in their boots before the giants. We take the longest strides at we're stronger than the rest. We are the southeast junior giants. We are the biggest and the best. We are the southeast junior giants. We are the biggest and the best. Giants! See the Bombers fly up, up to win the premiership flag. Our boys who play this battle game are always striving for glory and fame. See the Bombers fly up, up. We are the teams they don't win. They all try their best, but they can't get in as the Bombers fly up.
Whoa, there's a big run, Gus. very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a warm welcome to you to North Hobart Oval for the Barwick's STJFL Grand Final between South East Giants and Lauderdale in the U14A division. Will you all please join the players and the umpires in being upstanding for the Australian National Anthem.
Well, there is nothing like a national anthem to get you up and about, and it is finals fever here in the STJFL 2022 season, brought to you by Barwick's Wholesale and Retail Landscape Supplies. It's a very, very warm welcome to the home of football here at North Hobart Oval. It's Andrew Silver Fox Hopwood in the main commentary tower, and I'm extremely pleased to be welcoming two very knowledgeable co-commentators, Fabian Ackroyd and Alan Hoare. Fabian, welcome on board.
G'day, Hoppy. How you going?
Very pleased to be here. And Alan, these South East Giants have been just irrepressible throughout this season and the last.
Yeah, good evening, Hoppy. Once again, they've had a good season. They've been challenged a lot more this year by the other teams, so this should be an interesting contest.
Yeah, it should be. We were just talking before we came on. They have been challenged once or twice, but really, Alan, it's theirs to lose, isn't it? But they've been so good. They're a ripping young group of young men, haven't they? Yeah,
they've been a good team all year, although they've lost one of their contested ball pigs in Cohen Duncan, and we've lost our Hunter Sculthorpe did a knee early in the year, which is a very hard ball getter, so they think they should be all right, though.
Okay, well, it will be interesting to go. So as far as you're concerned, Fabian, from a coach's perspective, I'll come back to that question in a minute as we maybe look at the umpires, but I'm interested to drill down in, for a team like Lauderdale that has come from third position, what they have to do, Fabian.
Oh, look, I think they'll be just up and about, Hoppy, and give it a red hot crack. Like last week was a super effort for them, and I think at the start of the year, if they would have put this in their diary to think that they'd reach a grand final, they'll be super thrilled. But that said, they're going to want to go on and win it, I guess.
Yeah, very much so. No, I've been very impressed by what's been happening out at the South East Giants. And Alan, it's an interesting concept, mate, isn't it? It's a collection of boys from quite a wider community.
Yeah, it is. This team, once again, like I said last year, they're from Tribuna, Richmond, Sorrel, Dodgers as a collective. So they've got quite a big space to choose from.
Okay, so here is the moment that we have been waiting for. We love this time of the year as the umpire does throw that one aloft. It was well played out by Morrisby, the big tall fella there, but of course possession taken by Free. Free goes forward yet again. That's just to settle the nerves. Good at the front and centre, well played by On. Defeated for the ball, goes back to get it in, well played by Barr, and here they go. That's nicely worked there by young Ashton Hoare. Showed a bit of strength about him, but right through the deep defence, and here come Lauderdale. That was nice transfer of the ball there, Fabian, by the Bombers.
Absolutely, they were well set up, Hoppy, on the attack out of defence. It was really good.
So Lauderdale for the first time getting it over at their side of centre. Missed that mark, but they go in to get it again. It was well played by young Richards. Dispossessed now. Here go again. Hoare came out, played in front. Just overran that one this particular time. But there's plenty of other boys fighting hard for it as umpire Walker keeps a close eye on that one. Always fascinating these early stages as there is Rawson, the skipper. Gets it inside the forward 50. That's a strong tackle. And it was Zachy Barwin there there who was dispossessed. If I recall, Alan, that man likes the goals.
Yeah, he doesn't mind a goal, Zach. It'd be good if he gets a bit deeper, I reckon, and he'd be able to get used better.
I'll tell you what, Hoppy, in this early stage, young Sebastian Henderson's been quite important down there, chopping off a couple. He's got a nice little left foot on him.
He has indeed. He's got a fair bit of work to be done, and umpire Walker is right on the scene. We've got some very experienced men in green out there, so umpire Walker just deciding to decide that one was a throw. Bit of a wobbly old kick, not a great transfer of play, just straight up the line. Maybe take the blinkers off as the big man started to come through in there, Mafui. Can't take the ball, but now they have a chance there in Fish. Fish back inside, so they're inside the 50 now, and that's good hands there by the Bombers. Opportunity to score. They've got the numbers. They need to just have a bit of a vision and talk. Can get it out. Don't spend it before they've got it. Comes back further afield towards Burgess. Burgess goes in. That's up and high and standing underneath it. That was Johnson, but now they can relieve the pressure. It goes out. Well, the question was asked there, Alan, and they stood up pretty tall, did the Giants.
Yeah, they done well, but I've got to take it off to Lauderdale. They've really got out on the front foot and been first to the ball to start this game.
It was interesting there, just for a minute there, Fabian, too, that Lauderdale had some spares around the ball, but behind it, the Giants. So it was interesting, the marking or lack of just there.
Yeah, it was. I was really impressed with Lauderdale there. Sterlo's obviously got them to feed the ball out by hand out of the stoppage, which was important. They could have blazed away, but chose not to, so that was good.
So there is the Giants. They've stood up very nicely, and the Bombers, that's a big, long kick from outside the 50, but beautiful judgment there by the Giants. It's a strong tackle. Could have almost been pinned, but that one has been kicked from nowhere. I think that was young Weeding who's just put that one on the side of the boot with the free-flowing Malay, if you don't mind, has put that one through for a goal. So we just checked the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard, and Lauderdale have drawn first blood. They are 1 goal straight, 6 to yet to score, as we see here on the Mood Food replay, Fabian. And that was a beautiful reading of the ball, and it was a good shepherd there by Curran.
I think, like we touched on before, Lauderdale's ability to feed the ball out by hand at that stoppage earlier on rather than blaze gave them a second opportunity to come back inside.
Yep.
Good finish.
Yeah, it was a good finish.
It was a lovely, lovely finish. And I reckon, Alan, that's where Lauderdale have to be very clean tonight, mate. If they're going to try and challenge this quality team, they need to score when they do get it up there.
Absolutely. If they can maintain this, they're going to give them their best chance to have a real crack at these guys.
So there are the Giants, nicely played across their half-back line. Gets up to their half-forward line where they've come undone, but beautifully set up behind the ball. And they're just going to take their time now.
I think that young Hunter Barr is... he's really smart. He sets up a kick behind the play and seems to always pick up that loose ball.
Yeah, when there's a bit of pace on the game, it's can just settle the nerves a little bit. And here's a big opportunity for them as they go end over end. It's McCready who goes back there, but that's a big, strong mark taken by Rawson. Rawson now going back. I reckon he'd have a shot there, wouldn't he, Alan?
I'd be right on his distance, I reckon. He had a few options at the top of the square too.
Well, he's decided to kick it. He needs to try and make the distance. As he does go back, it's going to fall short. Right at that front of the square. Lauderdale do have the numbers back there as Davis goes back, but there is Mafui, and they are able to clear. Goes out further afield to Parkinson Brown. He can't take in the ball. He goes to get it in. It's a hotly contested ball at this stage, and you could almost see the cheeky look on the Lauderdale player. He says, I know what I've done, and Crossan has taken that kick. Crossan goes in. That's a beautiful pass. And good position there by Hunter Barr. He just slipped his opponents, we see here on the Mood Food replay, and that was a lovely kick to advantage there, Fabian.
Yeah, it was. He's a really smart footy player, young Hunter. He's I was lucky enough to have him along training with the senior group a little bit earlier on in the year, and yeah, he's a smart footy player, so it's no surprise.
So here goes Barr for the Giants. Goes back, just leant back on that one just a little bit, was probably right on the distance. So we are 5.5 minutes in, as we see there on the Mood Food replay as it goes very, very close. So very interesting game so far. It is Lauderdale who take that kick. That's a lovely long release of the ball coming out towards the wing. A quick kick back over by Rawson. And again, Lauderdale have just set up very, very nicely as they go out and take those blinkers off and try to get some time and space. But it is the Giants who go behind there as Crossan just bludgeons that ball round the body. He's looking for the fleet-footed Hoare, who was in front, and he's just evaded that one because of the kick that goes backwards. But that's the kick there, Fabian, that they're really judging well, are the Giants, aren't they?
Yeah, they're setting up really well behind the footy, Hoppy. I think as the game's settling a little bit now that they're just starting to structure up a little bit better.
Oh,
gee, that's a great grab.
That's a beautiful marker by Hunter Barr.
Yeah.
Gee, Rose above the pack and going back, and he'd like to put this one through Allen, but that was a quality mark.
It's a cracker.
Yeah, as Fabian said, I think the Giants have realised what's going on. They've set up behind the ball and they're starting to push forward a bit better.
Poor old Kate Davis was used as a step ladder there. So here he goes, the young man. He
It's a nice shoot.
goes back and just puts that through. Beautiful. That's just what the doctor ordered, wasn't it?
He's had a pretty handy celebration to go along with that one too.
Gee whiz, that was a very, very nice kick. And if all of a sudden they needed that, Alan, just to settle their nerves, don't they? As good and as they've been, they just want that, and they thought, yeah, that's more like us.
Yeah, like on cue, these two teams have met, and Lauderdale have started against them on all occasions pretty well.
Yep. So there we see the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard is the South East Giants 1-1-7 to the Bombers, 1 goal straight 6. It's a good
I tell you what, though,
ball up.
Hoppy, I think if you were George Sterling, the coach of the Lauderdale guys, you wouldn't be too disappointed with this start.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's a nice, even game. It's the old reality is you can't win it in the first quarter, you can lose it. So you just have to hang in and hang in.
Right.
Especially when you're playing a quality side like the Giants, who, as we've been told before, have been very, very good. It's easy for us to think, oh, they just turn up and win, but you've got to turn up and play the game. And that was well played from the half-back flank. Only goes as far as Mafui, who gets that long raking kick towards the boundary line, and it's gone over. And I tell you what, as well, gentlemen, doesn't the ground just look resplendent out there?
It's as good as I've seen it for a long time, Hoppy.
I tell you
Amazing.
what, if you could see here in the box, we've got Fabian Ackroyd and Alan Hoare. They've got their shorts, their jumpers on, and they are ready to go. They've got the liniment, and they just want to get out there. That's what it's like when it becomes finals football. As here come the Giants. They just end-on-end sort of stuff. Over towards Rawson, gets it to the advantage of Barwin, and deep in defence there is Sebastian Henderson. Henderson gets dispossessed this particular time, as there is Crossan. Crossan comes back. I tell you what, that was a nice kick back towards the goal, and backing back, judging that one nice, owning the space over the back was Big Billy King. And King, as you can see, we've got absolutely fantastic view of this one. He'll go back and see if he can't spot the second goal for the Giants.
Hoare did pick young King out earlier in the... has he kicked that one? I think he has, but he picked him out earlier, Hoppy, and said that he was a real little goal shark.
Yeah,
So,
he's very good when the ball hits the ground or it's coming down, mate. He knows how to be under it.
yeah.
Well, what I liked about this gentleman, and you can see here, he owned the space. Look at his judgment there. All of a sudden, I think it was Waller who was on him. He just lost him in the contest, didn't he? You can see he protected the space, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I think too, young Rawson's starting to get his hands on the ball quite a bit as well through the middle, and finding himself quite loose, which Lauderdale's going to have to pick up on. He's been quite damaging for the South East Suns early.
Okay, so they do go up in the ruck. Tell you what, Morrisby's doing a very nice job there. He's got a bit of height about him, good vertical leap as he does go up. Gets that tap out to no real advantage at this stage, and that's a nice block. So Lauderdale get their opportunity as they go forward now. It's a good strong tackle, so the umpire deems to play that one, and I don't mind that one at all. Comes out. Their on-ball division's doing very nice. That one just must go, I reckon, just the required distance, and Morrisby now directly up the line. Good competition back down there, and this is exactly, I'm very impressed by that half-back division by the Giants. But that just kick there, Alan, normally they probably lower their eyes and look a bit wider. Just a tad rushed at this stage.
Yeah, I think they just a bit panicked in the back line. They settled down a little bit. They know they've got options through the middle of the ground.
They're very good across there. It's just maybe like you said, mate, just take that time. So here come the Bombers. They're going to try and get it inside their 50. Leading it up, couldn't quite bring that one in, was Burgess. It goes end over end. Just taking their time now. That's dangerous to go back inside. I reckon the boundary is to the advantage there. Goes back inside. That was very clever play there by Richards. And Richard screws it to the hot spot. And they're taking the mark. is weeding, and we know this young man can get a goal. That was a very, very clever kick, Fabian Ackroyd.
Yeah, it was. They were quite fortunate, actually. It was 1-on-4 South East Sun's favour, and they were probably a little bit unlucky they didn't clear that footy.
Oh, dear, oh, dear.
But
I reckon if you get the definition of steering a ball through for a goal, that would be it.
He should have kicked that roll back 10 rows.
I reckon, Alan, that's a really good learning experience for anyone who's watching the coverage. No matter where you are, you go through your process and you've still got to kick the goal, don't you?
Yeah, kick through the ball all the time.
Anyway, it is that learning experience, and unfortunately couldn't pot through. But now there is no time to dwell as that ball has gone into the open space. But
that's probably the kick you don't want, Hoppy.
Yeah.
That's 2 entries now that they've bombed in like that.
Oh, they're too good, the Giants, when you get players like Barr behind the ball, and now they are running really free to get towards Crossan. And so from one end to the other, and this is the beauty of this particular team. They have that capacity, don't they, Alan, to be able to move the ball very swiftly from end to end.
Absolutely. With the 3 main ones there, they linked up together well, and it's hard to stop.
They do move that nicely, and there's some of the prime movers with Barr and Rawson, and also Crossan. And with the blink of an eye, it went down that other end. So ball comes out wide, and you can see here that particular possession there, and the reason why there was so much pressure. That's what grand finals mean, isn't it, Fabian? When you get to these games, as I always say, there's no safety net. It's like walking the old tightrope there, but there's no safety net. There's no tomorrow. So every time you go towards the old onion, you've got to understand that there is going to be some pressure being applied on you.
Oh, definitely. And this ground, funnily enough, regardless of the level or where you play, if you haven't played here before, it can catch you out a little bit, and obviously South East Suns have done that, and they're using the ground and the space well.
So here is Richards. It's that bit predictable in that kick, I reckon, just going straight towards centre half forward, and that's where the Giants have been great. They're getting really good numbers at that area. As that one comes in, that's an awful bounce for the Suns, who are in the right position, but favours as Burgess goes, tries to get that one in. There is a whistle on it, and the reward there goes for the Giants for a nice, strong tackle.
Well, that one just becomes really easy to defend, Hoppy. If you know as a defender that ball's going to continue to come in the same way, you're just going to put your numbers there. It's just easy to defend.
Gee, he's getting plenty of the ball, Alan, isn't he, young Barr?
Yeah, he's playing a terrific line off half back there. I think they've switched it early to put him down there, and he's doing well.
So here we go again, as that's a big, long barrel. Bring the barrel back. As that one goes a long, long way. That was shades of Malcolm Blight circa 77 when he kicked that barrel from 80 at Princess Park. There is On, who just gets that one off the ground to the advantage of Hoare. That's a brilliant pickup by the young man. He straightens up, goes towards the goal. And that is as good a goal as you would want to see.
Bit of a smile on the old co-commentator over here, Hoare's young fella.
So Ashton Hoare, that was a magnificent pickup, as we see here on the Mood Food replay. He's just outside 50, just tapped it to his advantage. And I tell you what, that is an acquired skill. Sometimes, Alan, what can happen, you can see kids or actually seniors at that matter try and pick up the ball, but it wasn't in a great position. He was hot, tapped it out to his advantage, understanding that the pace, which is his advantage, and picked it up and ran in to kick a good goal. Yeah,
he's my son, but he's still calm, and he knows where he is when he's running around like that, so he's done well, composed himself well.
He did a very, very nice job. So we're getting towards the end of the first quarter, and as predicted, it has been the Giants, but the Lauderdale Bomber boys, they're right in this game up to their ears. It's a grand final, and we hope that you are enjoying the coverage here, brought to you, of course, by the STJFL media partner in Duff TV, as it comes down further afield. But it's just across, this half-back line that is where the strength has been laid by the Giants. That's where the foundations are, as the siren has gone. As we just check the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard, and it reads the South East Giants 3-2-20 to Lauderdale 1-1-7 for the Giants. It's King with 1, Hoare and Barr, and for Lauderdale it is Weeding. But Alan, I think that was a very, very nice start for the South East Giants.
Yeah, it was a good start. Also, I've got to take my hat off to Lauderdale. They started extremely well with the same intensity that the Giants offer. And if they can sustain this, I think they've still got a good show in this game.
Yeah. So putting your coaching hat on, Fabian, you're going out to the Lauderdale boys. What would be your message?
Well, I think they're winning enough of the footy. They're actually,
I agree.
like Corey mentioned, they're doing a really good job. It's probably just centre forward they're turning it over, and Rossi Barr's got the South East Suns set up quite well across the centre half back line, so it's playing into their advantage. They win it, they spread, and that's sort of where they're scoring from. It's not necessarily their centre bounce clearances. It's basically their attack off their half back line, I think.
Yeah, very much so. So we are going to take our first break in the Barwick's Wholesale Retail Landscape Supplies STJFL Grand Final. It all starts tonight, our first one for the season. We've got plenty to come with you. Of course, our very dear friends and partners, IGA, where the locals matter. Over 88 stores throughout Tasmania. Your Hobart Health, 71 Bathurst Street. After Hour Doctors, 7 days a week till 10 o'clock. Bennett's Petroleum, Mood Food, and Brighton's Best Bakehouse. It is time to have, as I said, our first break. We'll be back with the second quarter in just a few moments.
This program brought to you by IGA, where the locals matter.
Having trouble finding an after-hours doctor for your family? Sometimes we need medical assistance when everything is closed. In the Old Bridges Brothers Building, 71 Bathurst Street, After-Hours Dr Hobart is open every day till 10 p.m. Phone for an appointment or book online. And for added convenience, you'll also find Your Hobart Chemist also open until 10. When minor accidents and illness happen, we're here for you. After Hours Dr Hobart and Your Hobart Chemist, open till 10 p.m. every day.
So welcome back to North Hobart Oval. It is grand final fever, and it's the first one of many in the Barwick's STJFL season for 2022, and it is the under-14 A2 division. It's the South East Giants versus Lauderdale. Of course, the Giants in the grey and orange against the Bombers in those black and red hoops. So Alan, you went down and had a little listen in there to the South East Giants at quarter time. What was Rossi Barr's message? Was he happy with how they were going?
Yeah, I think just keep the intensity up, he said. Just keep doing and sticking to our plan, and just let the boys play.
Yeah, very much so. And Fabian, your reports from down with George?
Yeah, Sterlo was really happy with the start. Pretty much what we said, just try to control the ball a little bit centre forward and not bomb it away as much.
Okay, so it is the Giants who take that free kick, and they go inside their 50. They've got the man at the back, but they don't need him, as this time it was well picked up there by Rawson. Goes in to the man who's already got one there in Billy King. He can't turn around that one. It almost looked like the HMAS Titanic as he ran around there, but that ball's gone to the boundary line, and the boundary line will throw him. We've got beautiful conditions here, nice and still. It's been a cracker of a day. It was about 17 degrees as the ball is thrown in. Nice tap out to the advantage there and picked up by McCready. McCready gets it further afield towards Parkinson Brown. The hyphen gets it towards the wing, goes up, just a little bit greasy. Oh, there was a good tackle. That's the sort of thing, Fabian, you need just to lift yourself, don't you?
Yeah, they've started well again. That's good.
So Lauderdale towards the centre half forward position. Couldn't quite come over the back towards Richards. As we know, the Giants done very nicely. That's where they've set up all their attack. But this young man,
he's played well.
Alan, we spoke of, he's been very good, Henderson, across half back for Lauderdale.
Yeah, he's been terrific so far. Setting the standard for his team today and lifting his boys, I reckon.
Just his ball use has been fantastic. He hasn't blazed away.
If anyone's concerned that why I didn't call his name earlier, that's because of the length of that mullet. It came straight over his number and I couldn't see it. That's a cracker as that one's gone close to the boundary line. I think there's been an infringement.
To get through the
late call for a throw.
Yeah, okay. Gee whiz, nothing's getting past these fellas I've got next to me. They're eagle-eyed and they're sitting right at the edge of their chairs. It is grand final and we know all about it. The nostrils flare when it gets towards September. The grass is green and the sun does come out as that one has been spoiled and it goes over the line. This is just a great venue, Fabian, to play football, isn't it?
Love it. Yeah, used to love playing here. Hori and I played a lot of footy here together, and I must say I never got a lot of the ball off him. So certainly when it was forward of the centre.
Okay, so here is that man we spoke of in Henderson. He's dispossessed this time, is running very hard, is Zwadzi. Couldn't pick up that one, and it's just sort of stacks on the meal, and there is no option but to just throw that one aloft. So they're just sort of setting up a fair bit of space. Good tap out. Probably getting advantage in the ruck by young Moresby. But it's those sharpshooters like Barr and Crossan and Rawson who are taking advantage of that tap as they go back inside 50, running hard in defence, trying over the ball. Just a quick hands on that one. Well played there by Best. He gets it out further afield towards Davis. Davis goes out towards that wing position. You can see some of the boys are just starting to drop those marks. It's just in that evening conditions, it just getting a little bit greasy. I walked over the ground at quarter time and you can see just in front of the Georgie Miller stand there, just a little bit of a sheen on as they're now just quickly getting back off the mark. I reckon that has to be that quick ball movement playing in front. Well, they're played by the Giants. Doesn't go that far as the big ruckman now in Lukey Moresby. He picks it up. He goes further afield, but again, it's that bombing one, Alan, isn't it? That they've just got to maybe change the way they go inside the 50 to the Bombers.
Yeah, it's just once again, Lauderdale seem to have the possession the last 5 or 6 minutes, but still, when they get through half forward, they're poor use going inside.
Yeah, I agree. So that's Parkinson Brown. That's a very, very strong tackle. It's debatable if the ball was still in the possession, but there it goes again. They've just got to lay a bit of a contest down that one. It goes towards Picken. Picken goes back in again. Ball now in dispute. It comes back over the top. The big man there in Van Diven. Van Diven. Oh, there's a big, almost pulled that one in. Oh. Tries to, but that's a strong tackle there by Bailey Hill. And don't you love, Alan, when your fullback's intensity, as we see here on the Mood Food replay, wraps the arms round and they never give that one away.
Here. Yeah, no, they've done really well there. We're given the high tackle, unfortunately. Lauderdale a bit unlucky there.
I tell you, I've been watching Noah for Lauderdale. You know, you won't see him on screen, but he's positioning behind the ball, just trying to chop out. Here he goes now, trying to chop out all of South East's loose players. It's been fantastic.
Yes, and there is that errant kick that did come in, but unfortunately it doesn't go to the right possession. So it comes out towards Hoare. We know he's got fleet of foot, always looks to use the ball, so he decides to go backwards, then protect the player in front. There is Xavier Best. He's sporting that man bun. He can very distinctive on the top. Well played there by Best, and that's further afield to Davies. There's plenty around the ball. We're just looking for that outer layers that comes towards Rawson. We know that when it gets out towards him, that he runs very, very smoothly. There is Mafui, the vice-captain. Oh, there's some friendly fire, or not so friendly fire, as they run into each other. Now there's a bit of pressure being applied as Taylor is back there. Ball in dispute. It's about 10 metres out. They just bomb that one very quickly. And he comes out towards Barr. Barr drives that one back in, and it's gone through for the minor score. And all of a sudden now, I think that was Tyson Hill who's made his way up, and that was a pretty big hit. But again, it looks very, very dangerous when it gets inside the 50 for the Giants, Fabian.
Yeah, it does. That was a good contest with young Rawson and Noah then going head-to-head. That was fantastic.
That's a good strong mark taken by Morrisby. I like the way he's going about his work, actually. He's been very, very good for Lauderdale, giving them first use. That's a clean pickup, all at the back towards Picken. He was the young fella you just sort of mentioned a few minutes ago. Doesn't go further afield. There is Burgess looking for some inspiration there. You can see the only thing I'll try and change there, gentlemen, I'm interested to get your view, is they need that outer layer, I think, Lauderdale there. The intent is there, but they're all just getting driven into the ball.
Yeah, their intent's fantastic. They're just like ants around an ant's nest at the moment, just all trying to chase a one pill.
So there is a very nice tap out as Hoare tries to pick that one up, goes back, just beaten to it on that particular occasion by the bigger body. And now there is big Morrisby again as he applies the tackle. Can't quite bring it up as it close to the line before Fish can take possession. Will be thrown in. So we are 7 minutes in this second quarter of the Barwick's STJFL 2022 Grand Final. The first one for the season is Lauderdale versus the South East Giants, as Henderson takes possession of the ball. Henderson goes towards the true centre half forward position. He was looking for Picken, but they need to get that ball in, I reckon, with a bit more movement. So try and find a little bit of space, because it is On who picks that one up. On gets that one further afield towards Crossan. Just trying to barge their way forward. That was Richards. Richard now gets it so that area of danger. You don't like it there. If one can block, they need to be a chance here. That's better on the spread. Tries the old Dusty Martin, don't argue, but the Giants were having none of that. Gee, that was good defence there, Alan.
Yeah, that was terrific defence by the Giants when their backs were against the wall there. They've done well.
A lot of questions were asked of them, and they answered with aplomb. So well played there by the Giants. They did a great job, didn't they, Fabian, to get the numbers back and support each other.
They've done
That's
that.
a sign of a good team.
He's turned that over there, I think, has he?
He has.
Oh, no,
the umpire's blown. Just changed his mind, has he?
Yeah, he has.
Decided it must have just stayed in, and so here go the Giants. And there is that greasy conditions that I just spoke of. And so maybe it might be prudent if you go the bounce to get that one and just tap it down as the handball goes towards free, not to any real advantage. And just in his haste to get a couple of extra metres, it's gone off to the side and out of bounds.
If you did look at the scoreboard at the moment, you'd be really surprised. You know, Lauderdale's doing quite well this quarter. They're controlling a lot of the footy. This is better if they're just going to chip the ball around a little bit. So
yeah, I liked the idea that they came in there, Fabian, but maybe just to keep that momentum going on another 45.
Yeah, I think so. That one that they go direct to the top of the 50s really killing them at the moment.
Yeah, so that was a great idea to look a bit more on the lateral side, as there is Jackie Upton. He can't take up, but Nafui is there, stood in front, and a very, very nice block. But it is Henderson again on his trusted left boot. It's good hands by Lauderdale as it comes out to Van Dieven as he goes in. That a good tackle again. It's the urgency around the ball in defence, Alan, and that's the thing actually with this South East Giants. It'd be probably, that's not the right word I'm looking for, but for the backline to be a tad complacent being there so good. But that's why they've been such a good team. Yeah, well, because they're switched on, aren't they?
Yeah, well, they're under siege here and they haven't been as clean. Lauderdale are dominating the play actually at the moment, and the Giants are just doing enough to support them.
But they're all playing a bit of a part too, Horry. I mean, little Max on out there. He's not the biggest guy out there, but he put his head over the footy a second ago. One possession of the ball.
Made a contest.
Yeah, made a contest. You know, as a collective, that was really strong.
Okay, so Lauderdale get the tap. You would have thought that if you've got a Lauderdale hat on with so much of the ball inside 50, they need to take advantage of some of this pressure. because I know that the Giants can score very, very quickly and get that ball moving as it comes out. The handball is coming out now, looking for someone to pick that one up. It was Van Dieven, who looks quite dangerous, and it looks like down there is Hoare. Might have been switching the ball or gone down to grab a bit of a kick, but this man Morrisby's been very good. Gets it back inside, and it's Henderson who goes the kick. It goes long and strong, but just taking their time. There's a quick play on there, was almost taken from behind. Picken tries to pick that one up. He is dispossessed on that particular occasion by Bailey Hill, and that's a very strong tackle. Don't you love it when forwards tackle like that, Fabian?
Absolutely you do. That's what the mids love too. They get the ball in there, you want to create that pressure.
Must be getting slippery out there. The boys, the skill levels are slipping around a little bit.
Yeah, they are. Man like you, Alan, you'd have the long stops in, but these boys carry the extra pair of slippers.
Well, yeah, that's a bit of due. They need to adapt quickly to the.
No, they do, don't they? We say it in haste, but I think the modern style is it's the mouldeds, but they sort of shape them that they say that they can do well in any conditions. Well, the conditions are going to tempt them. It's almost like being in the Grand Prix.
Oh, it's a great tackle.
You're going to go put your slicks off now and put the heavy weather boots on. But it is the first time they're going inside 50. That's a good tap over towards Hoare, who was on the running.
He's done well there, Rawson. That was really good play.
Kept his feet.
Kept his feet, absolutely. He's been strong tonight.
Yeah, and I like the position by Ashton Hoare as well. He knew his position in the team. Fast, fleet of foot, got on the outside. So the kick does come in. It's direct. Oh, going up and taking a cracker of a mark was Mafui, the big man, as he goes long and strong and just undid his good work. Yeah, that was a great mark, Fabian.
It's a fantastic mark. He's been strong as well. I just wish they'd lower the eyes a little bit and hit that 20-metre kick.
Yeah, so just taking the time here. That is Crossan. Crossan goes back to that area of danger.
Here he goes.
Yes, that is Barwin. Barwin screws it around, but he's somewhat errant.
He had more time, Barwin.
He did, didn't he?
And that's quite unusual. You know, young Zachy comes and trains with our under-17 girls, and he's quite elite on the training track. So
he knows where the goals are.
He does. He was telling me on Wednesday night, Hoppy, that he thought he had 2 or 3 in him.
Oh, there you go. Well, it's,
so I'm looking forward.
You've got to be confident about your abilities, don't you?
No, he's a good boy, Zach.
The one thing about that one, Alan, is sometimes it's not blaming young Zach there. It's the players around that need to communicate, don't you? They've got more time.
Yeah, I think at this lower level, the younger level, I should say, they don't sort of tend to do that. They're sort of more starstruck when the ball's near them. But as they evolve, I'm sure they'll work that out.
Okay, so a handball to a man who was under just a little bit of pressure there. It was Davies who got it over to Mafui. Now they look towards Best to clear that one out. It's been a real arm wrestle in this second quarter. Very, very, very even. Not a lot of movement on the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard, but it's been very entertaining and absorbing football. We hope that you are enjoying the coverage. Everyone here, the crowd, they are up and about as the ball comes into a pack that is formed as Picken goes up. He gets towards the outside to Fish. Fish, the skipper of Lauderdale, just tries to gain a couple of valuable metres. We are ticking down, what are we? We've got about 1.25 minutes left to go. It'd really break their hearts if the Bombers had a goal kick to gain. Here is Waller. Waller's fighting very hard on that wing position as that's a quick kick. And I'm not sure if that was off the side and on the full. I reckon it was.
Contested footy at the moment, that's for sure.
It was, Alan, wasn't it, in there? Just looking for someone to give some inspiration. Well, going back in, that's a very brave kick, and it has come off. You go to some of your prime movers, and they need to be clean with hands, and it looks like it's going to come over the back towards Briers. Briers can't pick it up because there is Mafui, who's been the general, but showing a clean set of heels is free. Get it out further, and that's a big, long kick towards the goals, and just through for the minor score. But that's the capacity and the ability, Alan, that they have, the Giants, when they get it to 50. It looks nice and open there, doesn't it, when they run it in towards goals?
Yeah, they just look like they have a little bit more freedom when they break 50, the Giants, as opposed to Lauderdale. But other than that, she's an even contest.
Okay, so coming out from fullback is McCready. He goes back. They've got to hang on a little bit now. That was Rawson, who goes on the wrong side of the body. Laying at the bottom of the pack is Hill, as he looks towards the umpire. You want to be careful, don't argue the point. And there is the siren. And it is that. I just looked at the umpire for a minute and I wasn't sure if he thought that was dissent, a little bit of dispute there by young Hill as he shook his head. That's one thing to be very, very, very careful of. So again, it is quarter time. I'm just thinking here, gentlemen, there wasn't a goal scored in that quarter at all. It was 3-1 in the first quarter.
If I reckon George, whilst probably a little disappointed they didn't score, he'd be rapt that he was able to contain South East. They're pretty potent, obviously, when they go forward. So he's kept, you know, they've stayed in the game quite well, Hoppy.
Yeah.
And Horry knows all too well that if they get the freedom to score South East, they'll do it really quickly.
And the first half reflection, I'd say that if it wasn't for the scoreboard, I'd say that there's a tick for Lauderdale that quarter. They've evened up the game. Just doesn't show it on the scoreboard.
Yes, I reckon if you were coaching both these teams, I'd go to you, Alan, who would know the Giants. Although they say they've been the dominant side, I reckon that's a really nice position for them to be in. They've settled. You know, they can say, look, this team's throwing everything but the kitchen sink. We've held up, and here we are. We've got a bit of a lead. We've kicked 3 goals, so there's no panic at all. Let's just stay calm, and now let's start to play our footy.
Yeah, that's right. I think in these type of games, now that the sting's out of the game, well,
yes.
It still doesn't look like it is, but the sting comes out of a game, and you can flow into your regular football that you play.
Yep.
But I think a big contributing factor to this game going forward is it's looking like it's getting very slippery out there.
Oh, yes.
So there's not going to be the clean hands, and it's going to be quite very opportunistic, I think, the goals coming forward.
Yeah, no, I agree. So it's just that movement forward, Fabian, isn't it, around, instead of getting it directly to that centre-half forward position, maybe just lower the eyes and just look for the leads a tad more.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, we've touched on it lots. I mean, South East are a quality. They're the best side. They won last year. They're in a really good position now. But if I was George, I'd be very optimistic and quite confident going in at half time that, you know, our best seems to be good enough at least to break even.
Yep.
If we could pinch 1 or 2, he'd be thinking, well, obviously Lauderdale probably give themselves a bit of a chance come 3/4 time. Conversely, I think if the Suns come out and can kick the first 1 or 2, it'll make it really hard for Lauderdale. Yes,
well, there we have. It's interesting views there from my co-commentators Fabian Eckhard and Alan Hoare. So just confirming it is the Giants 3-4-22 in front of Lauderdale 1-2-8. We're going to have our half-time break where we look forward to bringing you all the highlights and action in the second half very shortly.
That was good.
So there is the Giants. They've stood up very nicely, and the Bombers, that's a big, long kick from outside the 50, but beautiful judgment there by the Giants. It's a strong tackle. Could have almost been pinned, but that one has been kicked from nowhere. I think that was young Weeding who's just put that one on the side of the boot with the free flowing.
Setting up really well behind the footy, Hoppy. I think as the game's settling a little bit now that they're just starting to structure up a little bit better.
That's a beautiful marker by Hunter Barr.
Yeah.
Gee, Rose above the pack and going back, and he'd like to put this one through Allen, but that was a quality mark.
It's a cracker.
Yeah, as Fabian said, I think the Giants have realised what's going on. They've set up behind the ball, and they're starting to push forward a bit better.
Poor old Cade Davis was used as a step ladder there, so here he goes, the young man.
It's a nice show.
Goes back and just puts that through. Beautiful. That's just
celebration,
wasn't it?
He's had a pretty handy celebration to go along with that one too.
Gee whiz, that was a very, very nice kick, and if all of a sudden they needed that, Alan, just to settle their nerves, don't they? As good in defence, there is Sebastian Henderson. Henderson gets dispossessed this particular time, as there is Crossan. Crossan comes back. I tell you what, that was a nice kick back towards the goal, and backing back, judging that one nice, owning the space over the back was Big Billy King. And King, as you can see, we've got absolutely fantastic view of this one. He'll go back and see if he can't spot the second goal for the Giants.
Horry did pick young King out earlier in the... has he kicked that one? I think he has, but he picked him out earlier, Hoppy, and said that he was a real little goal shark.
Yeah, so, very good. When the ball hits the ground or it's coming down, mate, he knows how to be under it.
End over end. Just taking their time now. That's dangerous to go back inside. I reckon the boundary is to the advantage there. Goes back inside. That was very clever play there by Richards. And Richard screws it to the hot spot as that one goes a long, long way. That was shades of Malcolm Blight circa 77 when and he kicked that barrel from 80 at Princess Park. There is On, who just gets that one off the ground to the advantage of Hoare. That's a brilliant pickup by the young man. He straightens up, goes towards the goal. And that is as good a goal as you would want to see.
Bit of a smile on the old co-commentator over here, Hoare's young fella.
So Ashton Hoare, that was a magnificent...
This program brought to you by IGA, where the locals matter.
Having trouble finding an after-hours doctor for your family? Sometimes we need medical assistance when everything is closed. In the Old Bridges Brothers Building, 71 Bathurst Street, after-hours Dr. Hobart is open every day till 10 p.m. Phone for an appointment or book online. And for added convenience, you'll also find your Hobart chemist also open until 10. When minor accidents and illness happen, we're here for you. After Hours Dr. Hobart and your Hobart chemist, open till 10 p.m. every day.
Delicious in every way. Loving the taste, love it homemade. Their own recipes, freshly baked. Brighton's Best Bakehouse. Love that homemade taste.
So the siren sounds there for the start of the second half in the under 14A grand final in the Barwick's STJFL season for 2022 as the combatants are back on. Lauderdale take first possession as they go forward. Can't quite take a mark there was Howard, but he's in really good position. There is Henderson, who's been one of the prime movers. Looks to go inside, but it was off the side of the boot. But I reckon even in that coming forward there, Fabian, it looked a little bit different the way they went forward. It didn't actually get bombed directly towards centre half forward.
That a little bit more intent. I think they're moving the ball quicker, which will stop South East dropping back. Okay, so there is one of the guys we spoke of off camera. Luke Moresby had a pretty good first quarter, Alan, but he lifted the intensity in the second. He gave Lauderdale a lot of the ball, not only in the ruck, and then he started kicking up a few kicks around the ground.
He's actually lifted the team. They're actually right in this Lauderdale.
So here he goes. It's a left footer again by Henderson going forward. That is a good, strong tackle. All of a sudden he thought he was going to get a kick there, was Weeding, but you need to play till the umpires got the whistle. Trying to screw that one over was Burns. And umpire Walker says throw that one in. I tell you what, Alan, there's a lesson in that. You play to the whistle.
You do. Don't make sure you... Yeah, that's right.
Big change I've noticed. Looks like Henderson's gone forward or into the middle. I've noticed him down. He was playing across half back in the first half. You're
quite right there as that ball comes towards Picken. Picken driving it high, wide and not handsome, but through for the minor score. But a very, very lively start here in the Premiership quarter by Lauderdale. But the one thing we did speak about, gentlemen, Fabian Ackroyd, is they need to make every post a winner, Lauderdale, if they're going to try and snatch a victory in this big grand final.
Yeah, 100% Hoppy. A couple of early ones here will put a bit of pressure on South East.
Oh, that was a very bold decision to get around Moresby, and did it very, very nicely as a strong tackle coming over as the Suns take possession of the ball. Get it down towards their wing position. Overrunning the ball was Davis. Tries to go back in to get it again. Looks towards Hoare. He always gets himself in pretty good positions to receive that ball. Mafui's there, excuse me, big barrelling kick to a 3-on-1, but the one wins out in Billy Burns across half back. Burns, gee whiz, leaving plenty of time and space there for Rawson. If you're going to leave someone on their own, don't leave this young fella. He will cut you up. He normally uses the ball very, very nicely. Back towards centre half forward. That's a strong mark taken by Best. Best now. Nothing's on, so going down to the wing position. Gee, that's a strong mark there taken by Crossan. We spoke before, Alan, about the conditions being challenging, but that was like a dry weather mark, wasn't it? It was a ripper.
When he gets his hands on the ball, Crossan, he's very classy.
He is. So there was Barwin goes back inside, looks towards Rawson. Sort of almost a look-away handball. Coming in very swiftly was Hoare to try and pick that one up. They've got numbers back there, and that one is Best. Just taps that one over, comes out towards Henderson. Henderson kicks that one on his left boot. That's a really good delivery, and that time, Fabian, he lowered his eyes as he picked out Richards.
He did. That was a nice mark, and he's actually hit up the forward there, which is important. That's probably the first time they've done that all night.
I agree. So here is Picken. Picken further afield. Gee whiz, this is a good passage of play here by the Bombers.
Lauderdale have started really well here. I think Sturlo must have said to him at half time just when he kicked the first goal and we're in this.
Well, I seen him marching off at half time. He was on a mission, so I reckon he's got his message through.
Well, someone hasn't told the Giants the script, because we know that they'll come down. They've got premium players through the middle, and they only need a small window of opportunity, and they can hurt you. As it was on goes towards the ball. Good play there by the Bombers. Good hands back to Davies. They only get a bit of a block on here. I think that was McCready. And, there's a 50 metres without 50. A doubt. Yeah. There's a 50 metres as soon as that.
It's probably just a little bit of
frustration.
A bit of frustration there, Hoppy. Well, we're all a little guilty of that at times, I guess.
Modern footy there. As soon as he did it, you suddenly go, what have I done?
Indeed he did.
Okay.
You don't have to say much to him these days.
No, exactly right.
Oh, it's a good mark.
It is.
Well, he could have almost kept going there.
I think he was. He thought about it and then realised, I am a chance. So that is young Luke Moresby, whom we spoke of. Moresby goes in. I think it's Henderson who moved down forward, was just at the back of the pack, and it's picked up nicely by Burns. Burns getting a kick that they just seemingly, Alan, are under just on those quick kicks need to just try and slow it down, or is that the pressure that's being applied at the moment?
I think Lauderdale's applying this pressure, which is creating this frantic style football.
Yep.
And Lauderdale seem to have been set up out the back there well.
Yep, doing a nice job. So here is the free ball, well picked up. Goes the handball to no particular advantage, and it is Moresby. I think Moresby got his arm just caught on the neck, and umpire Walker said you've got to look after the player going for the ball, and I always like an umpire who plays that. Oh, here they go. So picking that one up is Fish. Fish goes in towards the leading player there in Weeding, but just I think off the side of his boot a bit.
Young Fish, I could see young Leyland, he's a really good footy player, and he could see him on the lead. He just didn't hit it quite right. So
he had a bit more time.
Yeah, it was the right option, so I like that.
Yeah, he did. So now Lauderdale, with as good as they have been, they actually need to score. And so no real prior opportunity, I would have thought, and that's the way that umpire Walker has said, and you've got to give a player that chance. So Moresby go up, and he has done like he's done all night. I reckon he's won nearly every tap he's gone for. To turn of pace here by Picken. Looks further afield out towards Weeding, and he can't quite bring that one up, and so again it'll be a ball in. So bit of an arm wrestle. 6 minutes gone in this third quarter. Giants 22, Lauderdale 9. They've been very, very good, but just haven't quite been able to score yet, as again Henderson is dispossessed.
I've just been watching the southeast guys. Rossi Bar's got them really well drilled. They're communicating behind the footy, and which is setting them up. That's why they're repelling the ball really well.
So here is Henderson, kick in, right on the last line defence is Johnson. He was good enough to recover. It's going to come back with some interest. This is going to be an interesting kick as Pickett. Again, you would need to understand the situation of the game, and there were plenty of defenders. That's the one actually I'd love to see Fabian drop to that 15 metres out from goal instead of going to that area inside the square.
It actually becomes more dangerous.
It's a very dangerous
kick. Just
kick.
Pull your kick.
Yep. Again, learning experiences when you look back on it. So here again is brilliant play by the Giants. When they do run, they look very, very dangerous. Davis backing back now. He goes on his right side to the open side of this play. And Parkinson Brown is there. He runs over the top. Well recovered, though, back through the middle of the ground. They need a good contest, and they do get it by Moresby. Moresby drives that one towards, I think that's Weeding. He leads out. If he can take possession, needs to come back inside. Very open forward line. Needs to look to someone to the advantage, and he does go there. Van Druin further afield towards Howard. He just cannot pick that one up. Weeding, who kicked one from the boundary line. Again, that's that kick to the top of the square. It comes over to Henderson. He knows he's on a footer. He goes on that check side, and he has put that one through.
We've got a game on our hands.
There we go. It's probably just reward too. They've for the last quarter and a half, they've probably been the more dominant side, I guess. And they've got a little bit of reward now.
So we see here on the Mood Food replay, it was disciplined play by Weeding. And it's really funny, we always knew he was going to dart back on his left side, but he was able to get round his player there, Alan. That was a very creative shot on goal on the check side, if you like.
Yes, he moves well, the kid. I've watched him a little bit now, and that was easily well done there. He just knew exactly what he was doing and executed.
I actually think it was a great move by the Lauderdale coaching staff to push him forward, Hoppy.
Yeah, he looks...
it's a gamble you've got to take in a big game.
Well, I suppose it comes to the point, doesn't it, Alan, that's all right to be in the game and say you're doing right, but you've got to win it. So your big fend off there by Loams. Couldn't quite do so. So well played in the last line defence by Hill. And the effects that the intensity has certainly lifted up. And so, like good teams do, they get it inside their 50, and Rawson just taking their time on this particular kick. Looking for someone to go to, decides to go long towards the square. Ball is in dispute. They'll be very careful about it here as they kick towards the goal and gone through for a minor score.
Quite often too, Hoppy, when you get a side like South East, it's so dominant, and when a side challenges them, they do change gears, so that they can actually thrive on this competition. So it'll be interesting to see how they go.
Okay, so that's McCready, who's been pretty solid down back. just as I pump his tyres up, it's somewhat of an errant kick and a good mark by Rawson.
He's everywhere at the moment.
He is.
Yeah, he's having a great game.
So Rawson comes in. Talking of everywhere, I have been very, very impressed by Moresby, and as again, I'm going to stop pumping players up, fellas, as soon as I do. I absolutely become a Barry Crocker of a possession. So he goes inside 50, and another mark taken by the Giants. Getting the ball quick. Oh, that's a good kick. Wow, Barwin has just gone all on his lonesome. And that's the beauty there, Alan, of lowering your eyes and looking up to see what is in front. And we saw here on the Mood Food replay, that was a great kick to Barwin in space.
That's exactly what they need to do. I spoke to the forwards earlier. For example, Rawson out here earlier on, they go back and they just kick to the goal square. I told them when they're inside that 35 to 45 arc to hit up that lower kick, and that was well done.
Oh, so Barwin, big long kick. And I tell you what, it again was Moresby doing the great thing, because he's the tallest player on the field there, Fabian, and he got back.
Don't you love
to do
that?
the defensive stuff on the line.
That's fantastic. That's really good by him.
So Hill goes the kick in, probably not his best one. It's free, picks that one up, and it's going to come back with interest. And good play there by Pace Main, who charged at him, and probably that applied pressure put him off and through for the minor score. So just checking on the Brighton's Best Bakehouse, 3-7-25 the Giants, Lauderdale 2-3-15.
I'm impressed with Lauderdale's intensity tonight.
Yeah, they certainly have picked it up, but here come the Giants. They're really pressing now, Alan. So it is Moresby who's just dropped behind the ball. He understands the situation of the game. They can't afford the Giants to get a couple of quick ones, but it goes
out there.
They are, but here is Hoare. Oh, evasive skills, very, very nicely. He's on a very tight angle, goes down the line, needs a strong spoil. It's towards the line. No, doesn't want to take it in, I reckon. Need to almost rush that one through, the big fella, as Hill goes again.
Good smother.
My goodness gracious me, it's good costume. That's a good smother again. It's very, very tense as it comes back down towards the goals. I tell you what, Fabian, has anyone heard of taking it through for a behind?
I'm shaking up here a little bit, Hoppy. I just would have rolled that one on over.
And they're still trying to defend this kick as it comes back down towards Hoare. He can't quite take this one in. Who knows? It could be decided by 1 point. So Lauderdale are keeping this one in. I thought it was McCready, so it goes to Burgess. It goes close towards the line, and it is out of bounds, and I'll just catch my breath. But my goodness gracious me, I thought that Lauderdale might just sort of tap that one over, Fabian, and caught their breath and reset.
Yeah, in their defence, he's probably they're full on attack at the moment, which he's probably thought let's have a bit of a go. But
I think that was Rawson who picked that one up and has put it through. So now they'll be able to reset and take their time slightly. So 13 minutes gone in the second quarter. It's 1 goal each in this particular quarter. I think it's been 1 to Barwin and also 1 to Henderson. So now it is Richards who has just brushed aside slightly on that one. As that's a nice pickup as Rawson picks it up, goes directly towards the goal. Here is Hill. Hill overruns that particular one, does a good job to go back and a strong tackle. Very close inside the Giants 50. Here is Hall. That's a tight angle. He screws it back. Can't quite get enough. That was always going to be a challenging shot and through for the minor
Pepper in the goals at the moment. Boys,
yeah, the Giants are keeping the ball inside their 50, which has been a good effort by the boys. They're having a crack.
So with a minute to go, I reckon if you're the coach of Lauderdale, you'd say to yourself, look, let's get a little bit more width on this kick, but they don't. They go inside to Picken. Picken goes further out. Crossan with a very nice handball. This is good teaming up. It ends up towards Hoare. Hoare does, in fact, lower the highs. It comes back into Rawson, and Rawson goes towards the goals, and it's just put that one for a minor score. Lauderdale just need to try and hang on at the moment, Fabian, because I tell you what, the Giants are really pressing, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. But again, I think, like we mentioned earlier in the quarter, as soon as Lauderdale put the foot down, it was good to see South East, apply a bit more pressure, lock the ball in and lift their game a little bit.
Well, brave bloke by McCready, gets it back towards Hill, who decides to come back into that area of danger. certainly the boundary line might be their friend now as they overrun the ball. Well played there by Alomes, who goes out. This will be a real heartbreaker if they can get it. Good, strong tackle there by the Bombers. Just taking it towards the boundary line.
Good defence, Lauderdale.
And it was good defence, Alan, as the siren has sounded, as they have hang on. And I tell you what, the almighty Giants threw everything but the kitchen sink at them there, and they were able to hang on in the last line of defence. So it is the Giants. I'll just check that they are 3 goals 10, 28 to the Bombers, 2-3, 15. So it is Barwin, King, Hoare and Barr who have got the goals for the Giants, and for Lauderdale it is Henderson and Weeding. So gentlemen, although they had all the play in that last part, so welcome back to North Hobart Oval. We are in for a ride, there's no doubt about that. It has been a bit of a roller coaster. It was very fast flowing in that first quarter. Lauderdale, through the agency of Weeding, did a great job with that goal. Probably had another opportunity to get a second, and it was then Barr, Hoare and King were they able to get those goals on board. And I tell you what though, gentlemen, this could go any way, Alan. I know the Giants, they've been, so good, and it's a handy buffer, but they just haven't been able to kill Lauderdale off, have they?
No, well, look, at three-quarter time, I was down there watching George and listening to Sterlo. He's a very passionate man, and if getting that passion into the group and get him over the line, they'll be in for a fairly good shot, I'd say.
So umpire Walker throws it aloft, and Moresby, as he's done all day, gets the first tap out towards Fish. Fish goes inside the 50. Ball bouncing, which way will it go as Henderson comes in to try and pick that one up. He'll always look to get that ball out onto his favoured left side. Lauderdale, though, have done very nicely behind the ball. Moresby just forces it out. He wheeled it out towards Parkinson Brown. He goes back in to get it again, trying to keep it in front. Plenty of a pressure being applied by Free as he just works it way just inside towards their 50, on close towards that boundary line, and it has gone over the line, and it'll be a boundary throw in.
So Hoppy, that's in each of the quarters now that the Lauderdale guys have got first use. So they've won the clearance and got an entry really early. So they start well.
And that's all because of the dominance in the ruck by Moresby. There they go inside, and here they go again as Picken picks that one up. It goes in towards the forward line, and just for a minute I thought Weeding was going to sort of pick that one up. It's a quick kick out towards the goals, just off to the side and through for the minor score. But Alan, the questions are being asked of the Giants.
Yeah, like I said all game, these guys are taking the challenge right up to the Giants, and it's up to the Giants now to show what they can do and hopefully get them kick away.
Giants take it out towards the boundary line. Good pressure there by the Lauderdale defence as it goes towards the line, and indeed it has gone out on the full, and Burgess will take the free kick for Lauderdale.
It's only a 2-goal game, Hoppy.
Yep, well, don't have to be a rocket science to be very, very obvious, but Lauderdale, to make this a real cracker of a grand final, need to get this goal. And this man here has all but got 17 other players on his shoulders. He has just brought them along with him. Luke Moresby.
Great kick.
That is a terrific kick, but I couldn't quite bring it in. Was Pickett, goes over the back. Weeding is there. Good defensive skills by Bailey Hill. As it's what's happened, gone through for a minor score, but they are pressing at the moment.
I tell you what, Horry, the South East Suns do in their defence. They do pressure really well, don't they? They don't let easy goals, or they don't let scored against easy. Let's say.
No, they scramble well and they make them accountable. That's one thing that Rossi's got them going well all year.
That's a good mark.
Yeah, that's a good mark there by Barwin, who, excuse me, has come up from defence quick.
Good kick.
Gee whiz, that was a brilliant kick. That certainly released the Giants. And have a look at this big long kick that comes over the back. Fair bit of a pressure being applied now. As umpire says, held without the ball, is it?
Yeah, he pulled him off when he got the ball. I thought he went for a block. He went to block nobody, but I think he was pulled off.
Okay, so it's King, who has got one goal. He's going to have a shot on a pretty tight angle. What do you reckon, Alan?
Yeah, he's pretty accurate, I will. So let's see if he can make amends here.
Okay, here he is. Billy King goes back just to that near side. Maybe the football gods were looking down on Waller there, and as we see there on the Mood Food replay, it was a good contest. Got to good position, did McCready.
Gee, I was impressed with that transition from South East. That was very, very classy. Real quick ball movement.
It was, and that to me, Fabian, is the danger for Lauderdale, that they needed to take the opportunity to score when they got it, because these guys can get it from one end to the other as the ball comes. Oh, that's a great mark.
To Lauderdale's credit, they've stopped South East Giants in that run of being able to go forward. They've only been able to do it limited times, Giants.
I think in a close game like this, though, boys, that what you do find is when you've got a class act like the South East Suns, they only need it 2 or 3 times to do that, and they'll kick their 2 or 3 goals really quickly.
Yeah, I know that just that confusion. I hate to correct anyone, but just the Giants there, Fabian. The Suns in the ladies, isn't it? And the Giants.
Sorry,
in the men.
Robbie. Sorry,
no, that's all right.
I'm still tangled up with the women's football.
That's right. Anyway, it is the Bombers through. Taylor gets the handball out, and umpire Walker, you can see there, he's very precise in the way he picks them out, isn't he? Gets low, and now spreads the ball towards Best. Best, high, up and under. Oh, and standing underneath it there is Picken. Picken's going back through the centre of the ground. They need a mark, and they do get it.
Yep.
So are they going to keep spreading, or they're going back the other way?
Didn't see him.
Oh, that's...
good mark.
Gee, they needed a good mark there too, didn't they? Anyway, they go inside the 50, and work taken by Henderson. Henderson goes onto that left boot, comes forward, and the big man Mafui takes a strong mark.
Lauderdale haven't given up, and they're persisting. They're backing themselves here that they can win this game.
All right, so it is Mafui.
He's kicked it.
Goes back, and Mafui has put that one through for a goal.
Game on, boys.
It is game on, and the big crowd here, Alan, are getting very much involved in this game.
This has turned out to be the closest game I've seen in these boys' 2-year history, which is great to see for the game, and this is going to challenge the Giants to see what they're made of in the last
grand finals, isn't it? It just brings out the best in teams at times, I think.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's just confirm that on the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard. It is the Giants 3-11-29 to Lauderdale 3-6-23. So 1 goal the difference. Whoever wins, it's just been absolutely wonderful and entertaining game as Moresby goes up to take that tap, comes out, and here they go again. It's Parkinson Brown who gets it inside the 50, and they certainly, the crowd have risen as the big man comes in. He gets the old give and go, goes onto his left boot, if you don't mind, on both sides of his body, going hard towards the boundary line. A hard, good contest there. Oh, Lauderdale would have loved to keep that one in as they had 3-1, but that was great defence there, Alan, by the Giants.
Yeah, well, for the first time, I've got to say, the Lauderdale...
Now, as pressure stations are starting to be applied, it's back through the middle of the ground. In comes Moresby trying to assert himself on this game. Can't pick that one up. Just a little quite quick chip that goes towards Horde. Only covered about 5 or 6 metres. Cleverly kicks it off the ground and running hard to it is Barwin. It is Hills who goes towards that bun. He goes, bit of an appeal for that one. They seem to be throwing, says umpire Walker, and it's a free kick here towards Alones.
Yeah, the guys are committed to that contest there. You can see the boys know there's a lot up for grabs here.
He's having a shot.
Well, any score will be very, very handy, I would have thought, at this stage. As the power forward goes down in. Oh, it's going to come over the back. It's tipped over, and it's touched. They say it's touched.
No.
There's confusion. Umpire Walker's come out, just having a chat to the goal umpire. We might have a look at this on the Mood Food replay in a minute.
They might have to come up here to us.
I wonder if the signal will come up towards...
Corey signaling a goal.
Touched it is.
It's touched.
Wow. Let's have a look at the Mood Food replay, gentlemen. And see. Oh, yeah, it absolutely went straight off Hill. It was kicked into the player. Well, I'm glad that decision was made, Alan, because we could see it clearly on the replay. So well done to the goal umpire. Holding the ball. Oh, no, it's set too high. All of a sudden, the Giants thought that was against him.
He thought that was very fortunate.
So the kick comes in. Oh, he's at all ends of the ground, Fabian, the big man, isn't he?
He's having a ripper.
Oh, as we pump his tyres up, the errant kick, and well played by Alones behind the ball. Goes inside, goes up to take that one. Oh, well played there by Hawke. Gets it inside to Barwin.
Peter Barwin, he's been standing by himself for about 5 minutes out there, and he's a smart little footy player.
This will be right on his distance too, I reckon.
I agree. Goes towards the square. They need a big punch, and they do so. Front and centre. Oh, well played again by Morrisby, but I think this is going to hurt them. As we can see, the Giants have just popped that one through. Much needed goal. Who was that one, Alan?
There's young Crossan, I think. I think the Giants have done what Sterlo's done. They've put their 2 best players up forward to really take a gamble there, and it's paid off for this time for the Giants.
Yeah, well played. It was Crossan who put that one through for a goal, and that would be the steadier they needed. But what have we got here? Nearly 11 minutes gone, and it's the Giants 4-12-36 to the Bombers 4-5-29 as the whistle has gone. Let's have a look. There's been an infringement behind play, and it's going to go to the Giants.
No idea.
Maybe it could have been, was it anti-density, Fabian, maybe?
I think there might have been a warning. One of them crossed the line.
Yeah, OK. Oh, well, there has been a warning, I think, and so umpires have let the players know what the rules are. They've played it all year, so the Bombers come to go out wide. They need some clean possession, and they need it very, very quickly to get that one inside as they just trying to burst that way, just slapping that one out to get some valuable meterage. It's Henderson who's there. We know he'll come back on his left foot. Gets the quick kick out. It goes straight up. He goes back in to get it again. Well played there by Davis as it goes back. Dispossessed, picking that one and not going anywhere.
Great
wrapped
intensity.
Up in the tackle. It was, wasn't it?
These boys left nothing in the tank for this game. It's a high level. Very,
very good game of footy. I'll tell you what, it's all on the line in the Barwick's STJFL season for 2022 as that tackle was being applied, and Maxi On is going to get the free kick.
It's a great tackle by Maxi.
Yeah, absolutely.
On. Looks to the player going out wide there in Rawson. Comes back in towards Barwin. Just tries to get that slipper onto it. And McCready is the last one to it.
Do you think, I think in these moments too, obviously South, with South East being here last year, and it's dying minutes of the game, it's pretty close. It probably helps them a little bit, doesn't it?
Oh, well, they know how to win. Oh, good spoil by McCready, who gets that one over, and yeah, the time is the enemy of Lauderdale at this stage. They need to get that quick transition.
Hunter Barr's set up in the middle of the ground by himself here for the transition.
Yep, so they're doing all the right things, the Giants, as they go in towards the goals, and they've scuttled another behind. and that will really, really help them. So what's that? They're 8 points to the good. With only a couple of minutes to go, it's been a very brave Lauderdale, but
tell you what,
the old cream has risen to the top, baby.
Absolutely, you have to be really happy with the way that South East have played this last quarter of footy.
Okay, so picking up the ball was Davis. Davis goes out towards Parkinson. Brown, long kick. This is where they need clean possession. No use mucking around now. The big man, Mafui, as Lauderdale kick towards the goals. Which way is it going to bounce? It's a bit of a chance for the big fella. Can he pick it up? He can, and he goes bang through for a goal. And Mafui has given Lauderdale a lifeline. But I tell you what, though, Alan, as the time ticks down, they've got a minute to get a goal. And the ball is over in the car park.
Fabian just said that the Giants have done really well to step up, being under the pressure of the team that should win this. And Lauderdale, to their credit, have responded again.
Absolutely.
So the ball is being brought out. As we see, it is less than a minute. So a clean possession, a kick inside their forward 50, and a goal is what they need. Nothing less. So here we go. Ball up in the centre. Oh, well played there by the Giants. Lauderdale pick it up.
Work, Fish.
And they are going forward. It goes towards their centre half forward position. They need to quickly get it out the back. There is Henderson. If they get it out towards Henderson.
Oh, he's kicked it.
Kicks towards the goal.
It's a home. He's kicked it.
It has gone through.
He's kicked it.
They are going to win the game.
They're going to win the game.
In the last minute of the game, you will not believe that. That is as good as
the left foot Henderson goes bang.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Unbelievable.
What about that goal, Alan?
That's why
you would not
get
believe
around
that.
Moresby, your big ruckman. Gives them first juice again.
And there is the siren. And ladies and gentlemen, Lauderdale in a boil-over have won the game in what has been a magnificent standard of football.
That's one of the best individual junior games I've seen by that young
Absolutely.
Henderson. And he's won in the game pretty much off his own boot.
Well, Henderson got that kick and he put it through, and Lauderdale have come from behind, and you've got to feel for the Giants. The Giants, Alan, for the last 2 years have absolutely been tremendous footy team, and on the one day they probably didn't have their best game, but that said, Lauderdale bought it. They have gone down, but they're cracker, they'll fight back. But that wasn't a wonderful game.
Mate, that was a wonderful game, and I suppose the dream's got to end somewhere, and unfortunate for the Giants, it ended in the grand final, which is going to make them hurt, and they're going to feel that. But to credit to Lauderdale, as I said before the game started to Fabian, as this year's evolved, no team's got close to the Giants all year, and the Lauderdale and the Brightons and these teams have slightly improved as the year's gone on, and it's a credit to Lauderdale because they've improved as the year's gone on and they've got the result.
I think full credit to the coaching group down there as well, Hoppy. They identified the issues after quarter time and threw a few players, mixed it up a little bit and changed the way they played, which a direct result in this. But congratulations to Ross and the South East boys. They've been fantastic for 2 years, and you know, they were probably unlucky not to kick 2 or 3 goals in the latter half of the third quarter, which would have made it difficult.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
well,
the Giants kicked a few points, but it still doesn't matter, mate. At the end of the day, the Giants, the Lauderdale were true.
All right, well, I'm going to sign off. I'll leave it to you two boys just to say a couple of words, and we'll go down to the ground. I'll leave it with you, Fabian, for a couple of minutes, and I'll go down to the ground announcer for the best player and the presentations of the award.
Thanks, Hoppy. So, Hori, what are your thoughts on who you thought played quite well for the South East boys?
I think Josh Rawson, he fought out the game hard all day, as he usually does. Hunter Barr was okay in patches, as with Tom Crossan. But I think as a collective, the boys, they played as a team okay. There was no standouts, and that's what's been pivotal for these guys, having some of their contested ball. And it just wasn't there for them tonight.
Yeah, look, they were probably, as I said earlier, they were a little bit unlucky in that third quarter. not to probably pinch 2 or 3 goals in about a 6-minute part. They just dominated and couldn't score. And to Lauderdale's credit, I mean, I think a bloke that played extremely well all night was Sebastian Henderson.
That's as good a game as I've seen a junior footballer play in a big game.
And the ruckman, Luke Morrisby, was fantastic as well. They, in my opinion, I thought those 2 players were extremely good for Lauderdale.
Leyland Fish was good in the last 5 minutes in the middle.
Yeah, Fish was fantastic, and Noah was really good too. He was excellent.
Yeah, Manoa's always good. I should say, apologise to the viewers, but yeah, Manoa, he doesn't get mentions because he's always good week in, week out. Yeah. He's a star for him.
Yeah, it's a hard lesson to learn. I've personally been in a position like that where the boys haven't got over the line and after being the best side all year, but they'll probably get better for it. And you never like to lose one to learn, but it probably will help them, I guess.
Yeah, you're right. Football's, as we both know, Faves, is you're not going to go through your whole career and not going to lose a game.
No, that's right.
There's ups and downs with it, and these boys, I mean, it's going to hurt them hard because they don't know what it's like to lose, but unfortunately tonight they're going to have a good old look at that and improve from that.
Yeah, well, the platform's pretty strong for them again next year. You know, as I said, Ross is a really good coach, and he's got them playing good football, and their best was good enough in passengers of play tonight, but they just didn't produce it enough. If they get it out towards Henderson, he's kicked it! Lauderdale was fantastic. You just see the latter parts here of that when.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how everyone's heart is going, but wow, that was an absolute cracker of a game. With the first one that we've had for 2022 in the Barwick's STJFL season for 2022. Congratulations for everyone that is involved. And talking of congratulations, the game wouldn't be here if we didn't have our umpires. And so, Lynette, I believe you're going to make some presentations to our umpires for such a wonderful, wonderful performance. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please thank our officials, the umpires, for a wonderful performance today.
Thanks. First, congratulations to both sides. That was a great effort out there, fellas, and it was a pleasure to watch. Congratulations also to Lauderdale. Field umpires for tonight's games, Wayne Walker. And the second umpire for tonight, field umpire, is Jess Wilmot.
Boundary umpires are Max Francis, and Oliver Morgan. And the goal umpires tonight, Emily Davey and Hamish Cheeseman. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, and thank you again to our umpires, and what was a high-pressured game, and you just did an absolutely wonderful job, and we thank you for it. For every great grand final, very sadly, there has to be someone that comes second, but I tell you what, the South East Giants have been an absolute wonderful, wonderful team for the last couple of years, and one of the main reasons for it is the coaching prowess of Ross Barr. And Ross, if I can please ask you to come forwards to say a few words, please.
Yeah, that's how you play football, Lauderdale. I suppose the last couple of years, being undefeated, we haven't had pressure. Tonight we got it and just crumbled under it. It's a credit to George and the coaching staff. It was really it was a pleasure to watch us, boys, and that's honest. You deserve everything that you've got. So well done, boys, and I'm telling you now, enjoy it, because they're pretty handy to have. My boys, I couldn't be happier the last 2 years. Like I said, we haven't been pressured the way we were tonight. We didn't like it, and we couldn't cope with it, and it's as simple as that. Had it probably too easy. I didn't think we went into tonight cocky or anything like that. It was nothing like that. It was just plain and simple pressure and not prepared to put your head over the ball. Apart from Josh Rawson. Josh, one of the best games I've seen you play, mate. That was a real captain's game, so keep your head up. But, yeah, we've done well. Thanks to Dan, assistant coach, Taylor, Marana, you know, everyone that's helped out along the way. But, yeah, tonight I can't say it was a real kick in the guts, but well done, Lauderdale.
Thank you so much. Very well done on what was a very, very good season, boys. We can come back bigger and stronger in the next season. So we now cross over for the best player on the ground, and a judge best on ground is Lauderdale number 7, Sebastian Henderson. Now, Sebastian, before you go, son, is there any words you'd like to say?
Thank you to South East Giants and giving a good competition, and thanks for the good season, boys.
Now, before you go, son, before you go, I noticed you got a magnificent mane of hair. You have that mullet flowing. Just tell me a little bit about the mullet. Is that what gives you the strength to go out there and play so well?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so? Anyway, mate, you played really well. You know that hairstyle comes from the Mohican Indians. It's a warrior hairstyle. You played like a warrior. You did a very nice job, so congratulations to you. Well done. And now if I can call from the Lauderdale Football Club, the coach, Mr. George Sterling.
First of all, to Ross and the Giants, look, it feels like we've been chasing you blokes for years. Look, the games have always been like really good games. Okay, I reckon the way the cards will fall in the future, most of all you blokes will be playing with each other, so I look forward to seeing that. To our boys, all we said was we just got to keep our heads up and keep on going, and credit to you blokes. Support from the footy club's been fantastic. We're all back at the club rooms. Heaps of pizzas should be there, so get back there tonight. And look, thanks to the STJFL. Yep, thank you. Yes. Yes. Should I go one? Right, yeah, whatever you, okay. You can do anything you want. Okay. Yeah. This side, right. Okay, first of all, Xavier Best. Dave. Come. Backtrack. Okay, on the wing today, Jackie Upton. The Bulldog, Zach Main. Tyson Fury Hill. Prince Squizzy Taylor. We've got the heavyweight, Angus Curran. Ado Weeding. Willem Burgess. Harry Downtown Brown. Lockie Parkinson. We've got the big Flying Dutchman, Thomas van Drijven. Riley Howard. Brock Richards. Kyden Waller. We've got Big K Davis. We've got Luca McCready. We do have Shaz Henderson. Noah Picken. Great game, mate. We've got Big Luke Morrisby. We've got the spiritual leader of the team, Manor Mafu. And last of all, the skipper, Leyland Fish.
And also one for our winning coach, George Sterling. And Leyland and George, board member Sarah, if you can pass over, and there it is. There is the winning cup. Ladies and gentlemen, your victors in the under-14 A2 division, the Lauderdale Football Club.
So, here we go. Ball up in the centre. Oh, well played there by the Giants. Lauderdale pick it up.
Great work, Fish.
And they are going forward. It goes towards their centre-half forward position. They need to quickly get it out the back. There is Henderson. If they get it out towards Henderson.
Oh, he's kicked it.
Kicks towards the goal.
It's a hole. He's kicked it.
It has gone through.
He's kicked it.
They are going to win the game.
They're going to win the game.
In the last minute of the game, you will not believe that. That is
the left foot Henderson goes bang.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Unbelievable.
What about that goal, Alan? You would not
get around
that.
Morrisby, your big ruckman. Gives them first juice again.
And there is the siren. And ladies and gentlemen, Lauderdale in a boil-over have won the game in what has been a magnificent standard of football.
That's one of the best individual junior games I've seen by that young
Absolutely.
Henderson. And he's won in the game pretty much off his own boot.
Well, Henderson got that kick and he put it through